Hey, g'day, aloha, and hello everyone. Welcome to Hit Dice Heroes. I'm your DM Alanna, and I'm joined today by Maya. Hi, Maya.
Hello. Hello.
This is a pre-recorded video series that we are doing. I know, right? That we are doing so that we can get to know our adventurers a little bit and find out a little bit about the inspiration for where they came from. This is our Meet the Character series, just some short videos to be live streamed on Twitch and then obviously put on YouTube later, but just for a bit of a chance for us to, get to know these characters that we are just starting to meet in game as well. If you've just stumbled upon this video and have no idea what we are talking about, we, along with some of our friends, have an actual play Dungeons & Dragons show called Hit Dice Heroes that we stream every 2 weeks on Twitch. It's set in the world of Wildemount and follows 4 newly acquainted adventurers as they try to figure out just what the heck is going on. We are currently only 2 sessions into our campaign, and it's been a lot of fun so far. We have previously posted some Meet the Player posts on our Instagram where we asked some questions and people got to know the players, the people behind the characters. But this is just a chance for us to learn a little bit about the characters. So, Maya, you're first up. Tell us a little bit about your character.
Ooh, okay. Ooh. Well, my character is named Solace. She is a female halfling barbarian. She's a ghostwise halfling, which is a new sub-race that I've never played with before, so that's very exciting. Yeah, I'm very excited to be playing her. I haven't played a barbarian before either, so this is very cool for me.
I've not done barbarians either, and they just... the main things I know about barbarians is they get a ton of health and they just fuck shit up, which is...
It's perfect for me.
Perfect. The Ghostwise is really cool too, because I remember, the first session, you revealed one of the features of a Ghostwise, which is they have that telepathy. They can put their voice into other people's heads. And I remember just seeing the chat going what? What the fuck? What's this?
What?
What?
Yeah.
Halflings can't do that. It's this is really
All
cool.
The players had the same reaction too. I was like, let me just telepathically say hello, and they were like, what the fuck's going on? It was very
level
satisfying.
2. Yeah, no, that's really cool. No, they're really cool races, and I love halflings.
Oh my god,
they are my absolute favorite race from D&D. So expect a million halfling NPCs, but at the same time, no, they're so much fun to play, and it's my little joy so far every time you roll a natural 1, and I can be oh, but you get to re-roll that.
You're lucky.
That's the best part.
I keep forgetting.
Nah.
I gotta get better at that. I'm so not used to having that lucky feat. It's so cool.
The worst thing with a halfling though is rolling a 1, re-rolling it, and rolling a 2. Or I mean, rolling another 1's bad, but I feel like a 2's just an insult.
It's haha, fuck you.
Pretty much. So with your character too, specifically, I'm going to be asking the rest of them, where did the inspiration kind of come for making the character? But you had a unique way of making your character. Can you talk a little bit about how you made your character?
Yeah, for sure. It was so much fun. So I have a Instagram account with a sizable amount of followers for one meme-related reason or another. And in the past, I've done some fun community-created characters where basically I put polls up on my Instagram story and people get to vote on the race and the class and personality and backstory and all that stuff. And when I got invited to do this wonderful show, I kind of panicked at the prospect of coming up with a character. I didn't know what would be quote-unquote good enough. So I was like, oh, I'll just put the decision on somebody else.
Crowdsource it.
So, yeah, I'll crowdsource it. And it was so much fun because one of the cool things about doing that is you get a bunch of stuff that you wouldn't have chosen yourself. Because I try to be I'll do something new this time, but I have stuff that I lean towards.
For sure.
So it was nice. Yeah, it was nice to be able to be I'm really just going at this unbiased, and I'm just being able to play something that a bunch of people are interested in. It was really cool.
It was so cool, and I was abstaining from voting because I don't want to influence this in any way amongst the thousands of other votes, I'm sure. But I remember it was getting to the point, and I think you narrowed it down between halfling and other race. I was like, yes, coming true. But no, that was funny too, because when we were making our characters, or when you guys were making your characters, I thought for fun, keep them secret for from each other. So
Yeah.
you guys didn't know what class or race you were each playing really right up until we began. I think we showed the character art to each other like just before we started playing. And so I was messaging him, I was like, don't go onto Maya's Instagram, like don't look at her poll, like you're gonna get spoiled.
I was looking through like the story like settings to see if there was any way I could like make it such that like you guys couldn't see it, but I couldn't find it. So I just gave up and like hoped.
I think they were good. I think they were like, okay, no, we don't want to be spoiled. But no, that was really fun. And it's cool because like you've still got it up there so people can go and see the process for how that character's made. And the craziest thing was you got fan art like immediately before the character even was like played. It's like it was
crazy.
The quickest creation to fan art I've seen of a character.
It was nuts. I'm like so ridiculously lucky.
Yeah, no, that was really cool. And then like because going back to that as a look in the backstory, are there any like aspects of that character creation that like obviously you've kept the majority of it, are there any things like you've changed, or I mean you don't need to share if you don't want to share anything to reveal?
I feel like I've stuck pretty much to what was sourced. I feel like, and this is something I need to work on in terms of like role playing, like personality and that sort of thing. I feel like I always default to like very optimistic, loud character because that's kind of how I am, and it's easier to be that. But I feel like there are some other details that I got from the polls that I want to incorporate, like that she's very competitive and she takes every challenge as like a do or die thing, and I feel like she hasn't really shown that side of her, and that's kind of on me. So I'm gonna try and like focus on like really putting in the also not so good sides of her personality that we had fun coming up with as well.
Exactly,
I think that needs to be in there.
It can be so hard too, especially, I mean, session 2, it's the added pressure as well of we're live streaming this, so you feel like you are putting on a performance with the character, because you literally are, but at the same time it's like feeling the character out and kind of getting to know them a bit, but no, they're fun, I think, playing to the flaws and playing to those specific traits, which could be really interesting.
I really want to do that.
Yeah, cool. So when you, like, crowdsource something like that, a character, how do you then go about trying to make that character feel more your own? Because obviously a lot of the ideas, and there was a lot of backstory that was given by the community. Is there any way that you could, like, I don't know, like, take that character and then, you know, make sure it is your own character and make it personal? You kind of mentioned like having your personality be a large part of her personality, but is there any other things? It is difficult because there's part of me that is like, this is my character and I want her to like feel like something I'm comfortable playing and someone that I'm like, I feel like she's mine, and at the same time I feel like I have a sort of obligation to stick to or to hear out the suggestions that have been put forward, so I kind of get stuck in that in between. But what I basically end up trying to do is, especially when it comes down to aspects of like personality and flaws and backstory, since that one's not a poll so much as it's open submissions, I get to go through and grab the ones that I like. So it's still crowdsourced, but to my sort of like qualities, not qualities, choices. You know? No, I get it. So it was sort of like a mixture. No, and then obviously you get like the character you're happy with, and that unique kind of character that you might not have necessarily made in the first place. So like halfling fighters or halfling barbarians I think are super cool, because you always get the halfling rogue or like a halfling druid or something, but halflings, any kind of race put outside their typical class, I think is so exciting. So it's always so much fun. I've literally like that. I've wanted to play a small race as like a barbarian or a fighter class for a while. Just 'cause I love that image. It's so good. It's so perfect to me. My main is a halfling fighter, and I'm just like, he's my boy. I love him so much. And so a large part too of getting the crowdsource was crowdsourcing the name. How perfect do you feel like it's been having that name, Solace, which is lovely. Like lovingly nicknamed to Ace, but then also the brand new nickname, Solace, that is so perfect.
It's so good. I never like like when you watch other shows like Critical Role, The Adventure Zone, and characters have names that get like turned into nicknames and it's like perfect. You're like, oh man, that's perfect.
Yeah.
It must have been like in the plans or something like that. And then this happens and I was like, wow, I literally just thought it was a super cool name.
Yeah.
And it's like perfectly like turned into something that's so much fucking fun. And I in my wildest dreams, I never would have like made the connection.
Yeah,
that would work.
It's so cool because now I see her like anytime she does something remotely strong, or like remember it was just like Solace in the chat. It's like yeah, it's so cool.
Oh my god, it's so fucking cool.
So we've only really played 2 sessions. Well, we've only actually played 2 sessions. Are there any kind of fun quirks or character traits that you've started to develop and are excited to develop further as carry on with this character?
So one thing that I've been trying to do is a sort of, how to phrase this, she is very straightforward and trustworthy. So when it comes down, like not trustworthy, she's trusting. Shit. What I'm trying to say is she's very, very straightforward in terms of like, when she understands something or when she doesn't understand something, and she goes very surface level. So the thing that we posted a clip of this where Oleg and Hikari were talking in Elvish and she said, why are they talking in cursive? That was funny, but it was literally like, she was like, I don't know what's going on, it sounds weird, I'm gonna ask what's going on. Like I want her to be blunt, if that makes sense, and I'm trying to play her as such, and it comes off as funny sometimes, which I appreciate, but the intention is she's like, I don't know what's happening. Is this stupid? And she'll kind of just say it.
Asking the questions is good, like, because then it leads to more like kind of character interaction, but at the same time it does set that very clear character personality trait of she is blunt. She's not gonna like muck around. If she needs to know something, she's gonna ask for it. Like doesn't kind of hide.
It's also like
her.
when she volunteered for that initial mission, and then she was like, can you give me any details? Can you tell me where they are? Can you help me out here? Like it's just that kind of thing. I'm trying to play into that more, but it's also helpful as a player because then I get to ask questions, and I love knowing things.
No, it's good. And it's good as a DM when I've got all these notes and I'm just like,
and I'm like,
they've only gone into this much so far, and then someone will ask a question like, oh well, let me tell you.
Well, I have that information right here, actually.
No, it's great.
It's perfect.
Cool.
It's so much fun.
It's really fun. And that kind of suits, like, not saying a cliche that barbarians are kind of, like, just fighters, because I think she's shown, and also, no spoilers, but from your backstory and things like that, shown that she's, like, quite an intelligent or, like, savvy character. So it's nice being able to, like, play, once again, against those expectations of class or race. It makes the character so interesting.
Yeah, for sure. It's a lot of fun.
How would you describe Solace's fighting style?
Ooh, I actually like wrote this out for myself because I was super nervous before our first game, and I was like, I need to make sure I have a thing and I stick to it. So it was more in my mind, she's very much a protective person. So her fighting style is like that, like front and center as much as possible. Go for the thing that appears to be the biggest problem, something that would cause the most damage or hurt the most people, or the biggest thing in the room. Get that first and then deal with everything else. Cool. And if someone else looks like they're getting smacked around, help them.
Cool.
So it's just sort of run in straight forward, and if someone's getting hurt, just sort of alter the direction a little bit and run that way, and then go back to the big guy.
It's like the ultimate tank support, kind of like...
Yeah.
Which is kind of what you want.
Which is cliche, but it's fun.
No, exactly. Yeah. I mean, you've got the skills, you may as well use them.
She's beefy. She can do it.
Oh, of course, yeah. And I really, like, we've only seen her rage once, but it was really cool the way you described it. Can you kind of talk a little bit about that, how you came up with that idea for how she would rage?
I really love that aspect of the Barbarian, like, as it's written in the class, and from the Barbarians that I've seen play, which is mostly, Grog and Yasha in Critical Role, they're both, like, anger-based, which makes sense, it's rage. But I was really interested in the idea of if that sort of thing is something that's like taught and trained into someone, would it always look like you just hit me so now I'm pissed off, or you just hit my friend so now I'm pissed off?
Yeah.
So much as it's like focus.
Yeah.
Because it's just, to me, the rage is just like all the emotions that are the strongest getting like channeled into one direction, and that's kind of like her physical way of trying to do that. Like, take a deep breath, find the emotion, exhale, focus it, and then run. Like, that's kind of how I was picturing it in my head.
It's so cool too, yeah. And then it works like so well with the fundamentals of like the rage feature, like the whole, if you like don't get hit, like she would lose her focus, so then she would lose her rage.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, I remember you doing it. I was just like, oh, that's so fucking cool. Like, just
I was really pleased with it.
Yeah, no, it was really sweet. You should be proud. No, it was really cool. I thought it was like a really unique trait, and it kind of like plays to that, like it plays to her personality. I think like she doesn't come across as like majorly aggressive or like as an instigator. I mean, we might see, but she seems like she's pretty easygoing. So that kind of I was interested to see how she was going to rage, because I was like, I can't really picture her like massively angry.
Yeah.
Who knows, though? Maybe.
I have written up a scenario for if she goes into a rage not on purpose.
Ooh.
Like if she goes into a rage because she does get pissed off. That's like another separate thing.
Yeah.
But that hasn't happened yet, so you know.
Cool. So we still are only 2 sessions in. What do you think you're most excited for in total in playing this character?
I'm actually really excited to get more into the way that she interacts with the other party members. Just because I've never been able to play in a game where we're very RP heavy. Like, the only other game I've actually been a player in rather than DM wasn't very RP heavy at all, and made me sad. But in this game, everyone's like in it, and I'm in it, and it's super cool, and I'm very interested. Like, there was already some really fun interactions with Gima, and Hikari's been very sassy, and I'm just very interested to see how things will continue to play out in terms of their interpersonal relationships and how they react to one another, and if they start to get annoyed by her, or if she starts to get annoyed by them, or if there's positive or negative. I'm very interested in that. I'm excited to see how that goes.
Yeah, that is very exciting, and it was like the most recent session, so like session 2, like you said, there was some really fun, cute interaction with Gima, but I felt towards the end there was a really cool interaction with Hikari. You guys clashed a little bit on a decision. I was like, ooh, yay!
It made me, Maya, very nervous.
Because I think we're all that type of person. Like conflict, no, just do it. But I thought that was so cool. Like, you guys both stuck to your characters really well in that scene. To the point where I was just like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, if they turn it back on this character, like, what do I say? I just want to watch what these guys do.
I was glad I did it, but I don't want to like stop someone from making like an in-character choice. I was also just like, my character wouldn't be cool with that, so I'm trying to find that balance. But that was definitely really cool, and I'm excited to see how that continues. I guess.
So our wonderful character artist Rise Arts did an incredible portrait of Solace. We'll put a picture up on the screen now. Yep. Can you discuss it? It's so cool. Like, all of them are so cool. I can't stop freaking out about them, honestly. Every time like I do something with them, I'm just like, damn, and I keep noticing new little things each time on all of them.
Oh my god.
It's so freaking cool. But can you discuss a little bit about, obviously a lot of the design came from the crowdsourcing on Instagram, but can you discuss a little bit about the process of like getting your ideas across to Rise, and also just like the design itself, so like equipment, anything like that?
So the first thing that I wanted for sure was I wanted her to be ripped.
Yes.
Like, so bad. One of the suggestions that one of the suggestions that was submitted when I was doing the appearance submissions was I think it was like absolute brick trademark, and I was like, fuck yeah. Because like I love me a muscle woman, but I'm also a little bit sick of like the sort of mainstream media muscle woman where she's got like curves and like the very sexy abs.
The
like,
She-Hulk
give me a
kind
break.
of like
Yeah. Like give me like Jessie Graff. Like she's just fuck yeah. And that was what I was going for. Also, halflings shorter in stature, so I figured it was just sort of like, you know, she's just like square, she's sturdy, and that was so surprisingly easy to communicate across with Raise, because I was worried about like making it clear that I wanted her to be like very kind of, you know,
stocky,
sturdy.
Yeah,
stocky is the word I'm looking for. And when she came back with like the initial like sort of rough like sort of body sketches, it was like perfect.
Yeah.
Right away, and I was like, muscles, fuck yeah. It was very exciting for me.
I think there's something so special about having your character like visualized in a way. No, and it was absolutely like, yeah, I get it, freaking out about it. It's just so cool. Like,
same. It's just so fucking tight.
Like, the tattoos are super sweet.
Yes.
On her arms as well, and like, I think you said like she's tatted up. I think that's what you said, Teresa. Like she's got tats, all this sort of stuff. But I feel like she added like the ones to her head, and they're just so sweet.
Yeah, that was so cool, because I gave her specifics for the ones over here, the ones on the head, and I gave her specifics for the thin one around her left bicep, but the one on her right was just supposed to be sort of like historical scenes of like ancestors and that sort of thing, and I was like, I know that's a lot, I know it's a tattoo, so like don't overdo it, if it's too much, don't stress yourself out. It can just be kind of like scribbles so you can see that there's something supposed to be there. So like don't stress out about it. And she was like, yeah, no worries. And then she came back with like this design. Insanity. Like if you zoom in, there's like whole scenes there. I'm gonna write something about that. Like that's so cool.
Yeah, like that's like further involves the backstory then.
Yeah. Ugh, it was so cool. And she so perfectly encapsulated like the other little details that I had, because the tattoos all mean something to her, which I'm not sure if I'll mention here just because maybe it'll come up in stream. But I was very pleased.
Yeah. I love like the skirt, like it kind of has that a little bit kind of, I don't know if it's just the color, but I get like a bit of like an Athenian feel from it, like that kind of warrior aspect. But I was a sucker for the cape, small kind of patchwork, because it's a halfling too. You got to think those patches are pretty small. Like, what are they made of? What animal is that? What animal is that?
Well, it's a variety of animals.
Oh, nice.
That's actually, I wonder, I can probably say this. I don't know. It's not like hugely important. It's basically that she, it's like a sort of heirloom. Where the warriors in her clan, every time they sort of take on the position of like warrior, or they pass the cloak on, every time you get the cloak passed on to you, you have to add a patch to the cloak of a pelt of an animal that you yourself have like slain.
Dang. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I don't know. No, I like it. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Is there anything else you want to add about the character?
Yeah, just super quickly, if you look at like her hammer, she's got this weird little doll like hanging from it. And I just wanted to really quickly shout out Raise for that, because I loved it. I was like, it was sort of a last minute addition. I remember I messaged her at like 1 a.m. my time, like, oh my god, I forgot, but she's supposed to have like something on her hammer. And I sent her, like, you know, in Lilo and Stitch, Lilo's got that weird rag doll.
I think of that all the time, that little green doll that she has.
Yeah, Peeklier. I think, no, it's Peekly the alien? Whatever, I love Lilo and Stitch. I'm gonna
stop.
Something like that. It's like my favorite movie. It's based in my home islands, too. I sent her that as, like, a base image, just for, like, the kind of way I wanted it to look in terms of, like, it's cute, but it's also kind of weirdly creepy. I wanted that vibe of like something that looks very homemade. And she just like nailed it. And initially, and this is just funny, so I wanted to mention it, initially, she had it hanging from the hammer by its neck.
I remember that.
The little twine. The little twine wasn't around its arm, it was around its neck. So it was like hanging there, like
even more creepy.
And we were both like, do we like that? Or is that too much?
Yeah.
And we were both kind of like, it's probably fine. Actually, no,
Maybe.
let's change it.
Yeah, let's change it.
And then we changed it to the hat so that it would be a little less devilly, but you know,
Yeah.
I was very pleased. It was super fun.
Nah, it's really cool. It's like such a fun little addition that like, yeah, it just adds more personality to the character, and like even to the character's weapon, like the fact that it's hanging from the weapon, like what's the
hammer.
significance of that?
Yeah,
like,
it's fucking swinging around when she's
true. That's a really fun visual now. Like anytime Solace
Yeah.
swings, you just imagine this little doll trailing behind it.
Whee!
Yeah.
Imagine being like a goblin and the hammer swings at your face and you see like a little stuffed animal like flying at you and then you get cracked.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Does Solace have a name for the doll?
I should probably come up with one.
Ooh, fun. Homework.
I'll come up with one. But there is a reason why it's there, and there is a backstory behind that, but that may or may not come up in stream, so I'm not gonna say here and now. Ooh.
Cool. Backstory.
Backstory.
Yep.
Lore.
Yeah, it's fine. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining me as we got to know a little bit more about Solace. I know this was really fun. Make sure if you enjoyed this, or if you didn't enjoy it, do it anyway. Check out the other. Yeah, just do it, right? Like,
come on,
do it.
What else are you gonna do right now?
Exactly.
Do it.
Check out our other videos that we will be putting out in the next couple of days and next week for our other characters. We have the lovely Gima, Oleg, and Hikari that we'll be learning a little bit about. The plan at this stage is to release our next Meet the Character video. Oh, see, now the time zones are going to get tricky here. I'm going to say the plan is Friday, 6 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. You know what? I'm just going to go with the home time zone. So you guys can work it out.
People can convert.
Yeah, I'll put it on Twitter, I'll put it on Instagram, but that's the idea for when the next video of this will come out. If you're watching this on YouTube, ignore all of that. You can probably just watch these whenever. Yeah. But yeah, once again, thank you so much, Maya, for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
And I'm excited for the next session.
Yeah. Yes.
Cool. Alright, see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.